Okay, so you just saw that I was roasting that last lot. And what I noticed in this one, and I'm changing, here's my notes for when I change the temperatures, the fan speeds, etc. And what I noticed was that, one, I was getting some burnt ones. Which tells me one of two things. Either the temperature was too high to begin with, or there's some defective beans. And the reason I say and or, because I'm not sure on this batch of Nicaraguan coffees. If you look, there's a whole ton of variation in sizes from, see this little guy? I'm gonna get a pen. See this little guy right here compared to these other ones? And really for specialty coffee, they should be within a certain range. And in this particular batch of Nicaraguan, I've got a whole variety of things, which leads me to believe it might be a mixture, not one lot. So, and I mean, that's not necessarily bad or anything, but the other part is that in this little 4-ounce sample, see these, I don't know if you can see the color change, but okay, there's regular bean, and these are drastically lighter. This one, where is it? This one right here, you can actually see that's just insect damage. It won't change anything too much in the taste or anything. But these guys right here were probably, there's some insect damage right there too. These guys right here were probably underripe beans, and that's why they're not gonna develop. They're not gonna roast right. And if you put these in, one of these little babies in that roast can mess up the whole taste. It's just how it is. And see, I see there's another burnt one right there. So this is all part of my experimentation of what I make, and then I'm gonna take this after it sits and roast it up, not roast it up, grind it up, do a pour over, and then I do it with a drip to see how it's gonna taste. Do I taste anything? Do I get cinnamons? Do I get vanillas? Is it smooth? Is it acidic? And that's basically what I'm trying to do, is figure out which ones are going to give a good cup of coffee so that no matter how you brew, you're going to get something that's enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, it doesn't matter if it comes from the moon. If it tastes like garbage, it tastes like garbage. So that's how to roast it, which beans roast best. Like right now, so far, I've had really good luck with the Africans. I've used two, one's an Ethiopian and one's a Burundi. And those have been good. I hear Burundi has a little problems here and there, but overall, this Nicaraguan, I think this is my doing. I've had good luck with it before, so we'll keep trying. Okay, this is another example of my bad, and I know it's my bad. See those little craters that have blown out of the coffee beans in there? That's from the heat is just too high. So they start cooking away, but the pressure inside the bean can't take it anymore. So it blows out these little craters, these chunks. And this is a definite bad thing. You shouldn't do this. Like I'm experimenting and learning. So this is one of the things I know shouldn't happen. So that's, if you see those kind of things and you're a home roaster, that's going to be a bad thing. This is the, let's see if I can get a little better light on this, chaff collector. And this is from 4 ounces of the coffee I roasted before. So you can see how much of the skin comes off during the roasting process. And what it does is it blows up through there and gets collected into here. And there's quite a bit of it. This, with air roasters, which this is, this has a stream that blows up and it comes up into here. I mean, most roasters have a way of collecting this chaff. Drum roasters, because the walls of the drum are hot, some of this, you know, burns up in it before it can get off. This isn't that type of thing, so it blows up and collects up into here. It's quite a bit for 4 ounces when you think about it. So, you know, we're starting this coffee thing and I'm learning about it. I mean, something could change. It still could. I don't think it will. I'm 99% sure. But I just wanted to say, you know, we really appreciate all the comments and suggestions and, you know, all of you who have stayed on a positive note. I mean, I'm on a positive note. I think it's something that's it's going to happen, and there's no sense to me being negative about it. It's like, you know, complaining that the rock doesn't move. Well, the rock isn't going to move. So you can complain about it all you want, but the reality is it's not going to move. So you have to do something, and in this particular case, we're going to, you know, move forward, and we're going to start working on producing coffees and trying to make them fresh with dates of usability, hopefully a subscription service, so you can, you know, and with that, hopefully, you'll be able to take that coffee and then a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however you drink it, you'll be able to just open up the mail or go to the post office or whatever, and boom, your next one will be there. And so we're going to also put a little benefit on that type of a thing too, that if you do that, then there's a reward for that. You know, it'd be something off per bag. I mean, I'd love to make a way, but I can't figure it out. That, you know, people who do like a subscription type thing or whatever, if there was a recyclable element to that where you got the container, the bag of the beans, and then the next one comes and then you send it back, but I can't find anything that works like that, that would work for shipping and outgassing, all that kind of stuff. And I assume you know about outgassing, but if not, you know, like if you buy a bag of coffee, if you look on the bag of coffee, there's a little sort of like button on the front of the back. That button is so that the CO2 gas can get out, but the oxygen can't get in. So that's, if you didn't know what that button is on a coffee bag, that's what it is. Without that, and I may do that as a fun experiment, is take some freshly roasted coffee beans, stick them in a bag. For anywhere from, say, 4 or 5 days, maybe even a little more, coffee beans outgas CO2. It's part of the process. As they develop and get roasted, they produce CO2. So that CO2 has to come out of wherever they are. And that's why the little seal. If you close them in, like if you were to ship fresh coffee in a totally sealed bag, when you got it, it would probably be like blown up. Because the pressure from the gas in there. And also, you know, one of the things is that, and I've been experimenting, what's the taste difference between, say, 2 days, 4 days, 5 days, as that CO2 comes out of the mix. But anyway, that's going to be for another topic. So all of you guys, I mean, somebody even wrote, I thank you very much for all your comments, and somebody even wrote, wondering whether Sid was going to be making things for the future website on sale, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen because we're going to take since we're building a whole brand new house, we're going to have the kitchen all certified with the state, so that way we can produce things and sell them, and it's not that much. We've done it before. I mean, years back, late 90s, we had a farm stand. And as part of that farm stand, Sid used to make apple pie, blueberry pie, pumpkin pies. And our kitchen was certified so we could legally sell the things. And she made some other stuff too. And those were always a big hit. People would come in for vegetables or meats, and we produced all of that stuff. And buy a pie. So which things, I don't know, rum cakes or what things she would make, but whatever it happens to be, the plan is we'll put that out to the website. It could be per order type thing, you know, special order, or it could be order by next Tuesday and there'll be X item that's going to be available. So we'll see. But it was a big hit when we had the farm stand, and when we had the farm stand we had acres of vegetables and cows, pigs, couple hundred sheep, wool, meats, and that was a whole nother adventure. Unfortunately, the state of Maine and the U.S. Department of Agriculture killed that one off. That's how it goes. So, you know, again, you can't just dwell on the negative things that happen. It's just life. So you move forward, figure out a plan, do what you need to do. And I have also, as a sort of a sub-note on that, you know, I've always been, I can't do it. There's no way I could do it. Always been very envious of people who could go to the same job every day, 5 days a week, week after week, month after month, year after year, doing the same thing. And I mean, I knew from when I was young, I couldn't do that. It wasn't me to be able to just do exactly the same thing, go to exactly the same place, have the same exact routine. It just wasn't me. I mean, you know, like my grandparents, my grandmother worked in a, if you've ever seen Converse shoes, well, back then they were made in the US. I think they're made in China now. She worked every day putting together Converse sneakers. I don't remember which part of the operation she had, but every day, 5 days a week. My grandfather worked in a factory that made golf balls. And, you know, we used to get bits and pieces of rubber and stuff like that. And, you know, as I got to be a teenager, probably in that 13 to 16 range, I realized I couldn't do that kind of a thing, of going every day. Same thing, same place. So this is just going to be a new adventure. How it's going to turn out, I don't exactly know. Hopefully it's going to be a good success. It's going to be a lot of work. There's a lot of marketing to go into it. But like I said before, this channel's growing still, and I really appreciate all you guys subscribing and getting other people to subscribe. It all helps out, and it's very appreciated. All your comments and everything. Love to hear from you. So the adventure is still going to be continuing. It's probably a couple of months, I would think, we'll be here. I may have to make a trip back once, twice, 3 times. But thank you all. Here's a fun coffee fact. Did you know that, and I think most people think just the opposite, when coffee's roasted darker and darker, it doesn't have more caffeine, it actually has less caffeine. So lighter roasted coffee has more caffeine than darker roasted coffee.
So what about Starbucks?
Starbucks has less coffee. It just has that darker taste. And if you notice that Starbucks is now getting into lighter coffees too. They have to. I mean, you can't just, you'll saturate your market. Everybody who likes that darker, you know, taste goes to Starbucks. Now they need something else.
Okay.
So this is in my my dream idea of things that you know, at some point, and it's not physically, financially possible, but I could see it being a big success where you've got this like sort of warehouse in Burlington, and the front part is the cafe, and a back part, like with plexiglass so you can see what's going on, is partly a roasting thing, and then partly Tyler, our son, who does metalwork and sculptures, stuff like that, doing his thing on the other side. So it would have a, oh, and of course, Sid's baked goodies. It would have the, you know, because I think that's the way cafes are going to, they've already started going that way, but it's going to be more of a entertainment and experience. It's not just about going and getting a cup of coffee. It's going to run more into, there's an entertainment value, and there's good food, good coffee. It's going to be something that you stop and partake in. And I think, you know, Starbucks is leaning in this direction. Other companies are, I think from what I've read, Blue Bottle is leaning in this, going that route and everything else. So, but it won't happen. We don't have the fundage for that kind of an operation, even though I'm pretty sure it would work.
Always looking for sponsors.
Oh, I don't know about that. Swimming in the water? It's got to be way too cold for that. I wouldn't say it's warm. It's tolerable. After we've gone and come back, no, after we spend some more time in New England, we come back, this will be warm. Definitely warm.